I do enjoy the raptors, the owls, the hawks, the tiny little kestrels, which are the smallest hawks, and just to see their personalities. I've learned that every animal and species has quite a personality, and they're all smart.
These non-releasable ambassadors really help us share the stories of wildlife with people in a more up close and personal way.
Barred owls are way up at the top. They are considered to be apex predators.
We do about 250 programs each year in terms of the in-person programs that we do. But we, in recent years, have been able to expand the number of overall programs we do by embracing technology and tapping into some new resources.
Today we're going to stop by a special hospital in Waynesboro whose mission is to teach the world to care for and to care about wildlife and the environment. Join us as we visit the Wildlife Center of Virginia. Come on.
The repair of the injured or diseased or orphaned or displaced animals that come in and the opportunity to return them to the wild, that's where our work actually starts. That's not where our work ends. Every single case provides a window on the environment, a window on the natural world through which we can truly understand what's going on out there, and all too many times the impact of people on the natural world.
All right, so we're looking at.
Hi, Dr. Peach.
Hi, Terry.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. What are you all working on here?
So we're checking out this eastern box turtle. She is just about ready to be released. We check on these patients at least once a week while they're outside. You'll notice a little pink flag on her.
Yeah, she has a little pink outfit.
She does. So that helps us be able to find her. You could see that box turtles are basically the same exact color as the leaves that have already fallen, and we would have a hard time finding her in the leaves and in the dirt if she didn't have that hot pink flag on. This turtle had a couple of cracks or fractures in the shell, both on the carapace and the plastron, but those have completely healed now, and she's about ready to go.
And so since '82, the Wildlife Center has treated over 80,000 different patients.
Yes.
So talk about the variety of patients who come through and what they're treated for.
It is, something new and exciting every single day. We never know what's about to come through the door. But as a native hospital for native Virginian wildlife, we see everything from hummingbirds to bald eagles to reptile patients, such as that box turtle, any native snake.
You have bears?
We do. We have black bears. We're the only facility within the state of Virginia that's permitted to rehabilitate black bears. So we certainly see those patients.
And talk about the different reasons they come to you. Why was this turtle here?
So most of our box turtle patients come here for three main reasons: either being hit by a car or some other type of vehicle, hit by lawn equipment. So we get a lot of turtles that have been hit with lawn mowers or weed whackers. And then the third most common reason is being attacked by a dog, for box turtles specifically. Some of our birds that fly into windows or walls, they get head trauma or broken bones. If we didn't have those human-related causes, we wouldn't be getting a lot of these animals and coming in our doors.
We're not going to drill it into the wall, because that's like a possum perch, but we can put the box up there. We just need sticks to run into the box.
Yeah, make it flat.
I am a volunteer with the rehab team, and that means that after the vet staff has finished treating the patient, they're transferred then to the rehab team, and we're the ones that get them ready to be released back into the wild.
We really have to find ways to minimize our impact on our wild neighbors. Every story that we share, every message that we have really comes down to ways that people can help wildlife.
There are far too many people that think, okay, there's some apple left on here, I'm going to throw it onto the shoulder of the road, some animal can come along and finish it. And you think you've done a good thing. If it's a mouse that's eating the apple core, owls, hawks, other types of predators, they'll be hunting that mouse, and they get hit by cars.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
All right, everyone, welcome to Rounds. We're going to start in aviary with red-tailed hawk 2663. We did physical therapy on this patient today and noted a small knot in its distal patagium, as well as a bit of a thickening of the patagial ligament.
That hawk was more than likely hit by a car. It had a fracture of the radius and the ulna in the right wing, I believe it was. So this morning we were doing physical therapy on that bird under anesthesia because it's a real painful process. So we were doing that, and then we also were doing laser therapy on the fracture site itself, and our laser helps promote blood flow, so it helps promote healing, making that process a little bit quicker, and also helps to decrease inflammation, so they're a little bit more comfortable.
And this is a teaching hospital. Talk about the important role that plays in our community and in general.
Right, so the Wildlife Center of Virginia is the only teaching hospital in the country that's not associated with a university, which is really special. We have had veterinary students from all over the country, I think every vet school in the country actually, and several veterinary schools from around the world that come here and do externships anywhere from 3 to 12 weeks.
And so why did you go into this work?
So I came here as a veterinary student. I knew I wanted to work in the field of wildlife in some sort of capacity. And while I was here, I was just drawn to try to come back. The number of patients, the number of species that the Wildlife Center sees, and the opportunities that exist here, all were really appealing to me, and so I applied for the internship, which is a 1-year position, and I got that internship, and then while I was here I was asked to stay on as the veterinary fellow.
The Wildlife Center has as its mission statement, teaching the world, and we really do take that very seriously. In Mexico City, as an example, there are 2 major veterinary schools there, one public, one private. We have memoranda of understanding through which we're actually teaching courses in those schools using technology, then bringing their students here to our facilities in the States to get hands-on experience. But we also work with students and professionals coming here to Waynesboro, Virginia from more than 40 other countries. That's how we're teaching the world.
Within the past couple of years, we've been exploring a Skype in the Classroom program. From the comfort of our library, we and our education animals can travel to California or Canada or Vietnam or all these great and interesting places. So it's been a really fun way to tap into education in a whole new way.
All right, to the reptile room. I have a few changes to report in the reptile room. Eastern box turtle 2935. This is one that came from Wellesley on the 18th with a carapace fracture. It's looking really good. Can we change this patient to a full soak, please?
So you can see this turtle had a real big crack in her shell, or the carapace.
Oh my goodness, it's huge.
And it was fixed by placing these stabilization bars on the outside of her shell in order to keep those 2 different pieces close together so that the bone itself can bridge. So this is a relatively new patient. She came in just a week or so ago, and so we are still flushing this fracture, which is what we'll do next.
I mean, the goal is to release them, is to heal them and release them back
Right.
into the wild. But they have to reach all of their benchmarks before you do that.
Right, so they have to prove that they're going to be able to survive well in the wild. And part of what we watch for with our reptile patients is once they're moved outside to those turtle yards, that they're able to move around normally, that they can find food for themselves, that they're, and we judge that based on their weights and their body conditions. Box turtles are most active May through October, and then they start finding the places that they're going to overwinter or brumate.
You see a lot of different animals coming in and birds and reptiles coming in depending upon the season.
Right. There certainly is a seasonality to our patient load. In the spring, obviously a lot of our admissions are babies. We see some orphaned baby songbirds and baby mammals like bunnies and possums.
And if they're fine, but they're just little, if they've lost their parent, then you work with the Rockfish Wildlife Sanctuary, and they'll, if the babies don't need a hospital, they'll take them in and they raise them so that they can be released to the wild, right?
Exactly.
I
So
love
they,
that.
right, they are a rehabilitation center. They don't have any vets on staff, and so
Right.
we try to send anything healthy to them, and they try to send anything injured like this turtle up to us.
What a great relationship.
Yeah, so we are finished with this little guy now, and he'll go back to his enclosure for the rest of the day.
Bye.
There you go. Thank you, Chef.
Okay, so I know you've seen so many wildlife creatures coming through here. What would you say is one of the most unusual situations you've had to treat?
Yeah, I think a very unusual case, at least that comes to mind, is an adult bobcat patient that we had a couple of Thanksgivings ago. The story, made pretty big news. It was hit by a car and was actually stuck in the grill of this woman's car. She drove about an hour with it before she stopped and realized the situation, and the animal control in that area was able to be instrumental in removing that bobcat from the car and getting it sent back to us. And fortunately, she only suffered some internal injuries, and we were just able to care for her until she was able to be released.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
it
was a great success story.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, and
of course.
for all the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
It's great to be in a place with so many people who share this same passion. We're a bunch of wildlife nerds, so different people geek out on different things, whether it's a particular species or issue. Everyone just brings this passion to the table here in caring for the patients and sharing our messages and sharing our stories and teaching people how to do something new.
I started with the Wildlife Center as one of the 4 co-founders in 1982. This is my vehicle to make a difference for the natural world. I'm the guy who takes the story from the hospital clinic where we find out what's wrong with it and takes it to the public or to the General Assembly or to the Congress or to the television airways to try and let people know how even small decisions can make a big difference in the lives of wildlife and in the lives of other people.
When we have releases, I don't miss them because I know the next day coming through the door is going to be another patient that we will need to take care of. But the joy that it does bring personally as well as to the entire facility to be able to send them back to the wild and know that they have the skills and the strength to be them, to be themselves.